Hello everyone, and welcome to our fourth weekly segment. This is October 23rd of 2022. First, we're going to take a look at what's going on in Ukraine. Pro-Ukraine sources claim that there's been major progress by the Ukrainian army around the town of Bakhmut. Now, this is in the Donetsk region, and Russia has been trying to take it for some months without much success. We've also seen Russia declare martial law in the 4 annexed provinces. This is more of a rubber stamp than anything else. Given that the region is under military control, the things legalized by martial law would be done whether it was approved and legal or not. So the main thing to watch here is whether or not it's expanded to the other Russian provinces. Finally, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu has held calls with the defense ministers of France, Turkey, the UK, and the US. Shoigu reportedly claimed that Ukraine was planning to detonate a dirty bomb, that's a conventional explosive that distributes radioactive material, in Ukraine as a false flag operation. Whether this is a sign of future intent is open to debate. They would be saying this sort of thing whether they were planning to do it or not. Now, there's only one thing from the rest of the world that happened this week that I want to discuss, that being the Chinese Communist Party's 20th National Congress. We've seen 4 new members added to the Politburo Standing Committee, these being Li Chang, Kai Chi, and Li Shi, the party secretaries for Shanghai, Beijing, and Guangdong regions, as well as Ding Shushang, previously responsible for running the general office, which kept the party bureaucracy running. Of these 4, Li Chang is the most notable, as he was previously the party secretary for Shanghai. He was responsible for running the extreme and very unpopular lockdown in Shanghai. Despite this, he made it onto the Standing Committee, being a firm ally of President Xi Jinping. There's also a good chance that Li will take over as premier come March. But I think more interesting than the Politburo appointments is the speech that Xi gave. As such, I'd like to read a few quotes from it. "National security is the bedrock of national rejuvenation, and social stability is a prerequisite for building a strong and prosperous China." And then a bit later on, "We must take the people's security as our ultimate goal, political security as our fundamental task, and economic security as our foundation." And then a bit further on, "We will take coordinated steps to ensure external and internal security, homeland and public security, traditional and non-traditional security, and our own security and common security." Now, obviously, that's quite a lot of focus on security, but what's equally important is what wasn't talked about a lot. That specifically being economic growth. Now, economic growth has been the main driver of the Communist Party since Deng Xiaoping. As such, it's been the focus of the National Congress speeches since then. Meanwhile, in Xi's speech this year, growth was mentioned 13 times compared to security, which was mentioned 56 times. Combine this with the 6-day delay of China's latest GDP data, which was highly unusual, and the fact that the recently released data, 6 days late, shows that even by their own highly suspect data, the Chinese economy still fell short of government goals. This and the new focus on security combine to paint a picture of a struggling Chinese economy, with a focus on national security to distract from that and to maintain internal unity through a potentially turbulent and unstable period. Since the party's legitimacy is heavily dependent on economic success, it's likely that we'll see the focusing on security continue, as well as an increased focus on Taiwan. It's an easy drum to beat, and nationalism is a common tool for maintaining internal unity, especially when the party's current source of legitimacy seems to be faltering. That's all for today. This has been our 4th weekly segment on October the 23rd of 2022, and thank you for listening.